Welcome to another Too Tall Toby example built in IronCAD. This model is dated April 5th, 2024. It's an offset mount. Fairly simple geometry. It's just got a slot feature and a cylinder on one end, and then it's just got this curve feature here that we have to do through our sketch models because it's got some curve features here. And the key information really is just the 6mm offset here on the starting point that we needed to adjust this curve, and everything else is offset from that. So not too difficult. We also have an angle here to deal with as well. So we have two critical dimensions that we need to work with. So anyways, go ahead and hop over to IronCAD and show you how we can design this. So again, IronCAD has a lot of standard features that it comes with. For example, we have a slot feature that we can drag and drop out. And we know this slot feature, in our case, this length on this is actually 60 millimeters from center to center plus a 20 millimeter radius on each end, so that's a total of 100 on there, so that we can set that up easily by just doing that. And then our hitting enter, our handles toggle to our width handle, which we know this is going to be that 40 millimeters, and the height again, so now it's on the top. By hitting enter again, we're going to set that to 30. So we quickly set up our base geometry that we want to use, and we're going to just drag and drop a cylinder onto our center point of our slot. So what we want to do here is we know this cylinder is going to be 30 millimeters on this one, so this one is 30 millimeters, and we want to go ahead and just extend this down to the bottom. So I'll show you why, just a simple way to do this. But what we're going to do is just going to move that out because we have a dimension that is out from the center of that slot at a distance of 111. So we'll place that. But they do give us a distance or total height of this thing from the top of this model. So if it's from the bottom of that to the top, so we've got it in place. That's why I pulled it down to the bottom. And we just type in 66, and we know the overall height is just kind of an offset basically here. We're just going to type in 15 plus, and they gave us a value of 8 inside of there to position and size that cylinder. So that kind of gives us our base point for our geometry. So next we're going to do our extrude here. Now we're going to do a mid-plane extrude. So let's go ahead and just do an extrude, and we're going to select our part, and we're going to create a sketch. In this case, we want to do it normal to curve, and we're going to do it right at the top of this model here. So along this edge on the midpoint, that's where we want it. We'll go ahead and hit OK to place that. So there's multiple ways that we can create this. We can create some lines here, some cylinders, and do some trimming and positioning with those curves. Another way to do it is use our Polyline command. So what we can do is start at our 0 point, and we're going to move it out, and we're going to right click and say we want a value of 6 millimeters off of there. So now we're still in our polyline, but if you hold your left mouse down and click, it changes it into an arc. So we want an arc here, which automatically gives us our tangency there, and then we can just right click and put the values that we need for this. So we know this needs to be a radius of 25, and we want a negative 30-degree angle on that. So now that puts us right where we need to be, and we can just pull this line up however we need. Just make sure that our tangency, you see that blue tangency icon there, so move it off and move it back. That maintains our tangency for us. So that gives us exactly our curve that we need to offset. So now we can just simply select this curve, offset it, type in a value of 15. We're not going to use constraints here, but we can just flip it around to do that. So that gives us our offset values there, and go ahead and hit place for that. Next, we can just draw our 2-point arc for this one, which is on our center point here out, and offset it as well. So we can just select that and offset it 15 degrees, or 15 millimeters as well. And we simply just trim off our geometry. So we don't need this here anymore, or this information. So we know when we offset this one actually will give us our 40 for that value. So these two in this end is almost done. We just need to add our fillets and our closed lines. So we'll simply add a fillet here, which in our case is 40, and this one is 25 for that one. And last, we can just draw our line. Again, you can go up to our ribbon bars like what I'm doing here, or you can hit your S key on your keyboard, and you can get into the line command there as well. So just however your preference is to work in IronCAD, you can do so. So basically, we're just building this curve without doing any type of constraint dimensions or anything like that, which you typically find in other systems, but we can just do it with just our curve geometry and options in creating this. So that gives us our shape. We hit finish. And now we can do a mid-plane extrude, and we know that it's a total width of 30, so we'll just put 15 for that. That gives us our values for there, and hit OK, and that will create our shape for us. So there's our base shape, and the last we need to do is our holes in our counter bores here. So we're going to use our cut cylinder, and we're just going to drag and drop that up onto our center point there, and we know it is 18 millimeters. For that one, we're going to do the same thing down here. In this case, we know the through hole on this is 15, and we'll just drop a cut cylinder to create the counterbore, which is really easy again. So we just type in the values for what the diameter is, keep hitting enter until we get our handle to the bottom, and we type in the depth for that. So that gives us our shape for that. We can select both of these, use our tri-ball by hitting F10, simply right click, hold our shift key down and on the arc so we get to the center point here basically, and we're gonna make a link of that shape. So that basically completes our model very quickly and easily in IronCAD. And if you want to look at the information, go to the properties. We're currently in the wrong units here, so let me go ahead and change that to grams. There we go. Now if we select our model, it should be 1136 for that model. So there you go. That's how you can build this in IronCAD, quick and easy. Hopefully you enjoy.